Testing 1, 2. As most of you probably already know, tonight we're going to be having a broadcast of post-op, I guess you would say a postpartum a biopsy, I don't know, of the Democratic primary debates number 7. And you know I do this on my channel routinely, and we have a good time of breaking down the political bit, whatever happened, the play-by-play analysis, the whole thing. That's what we do here on the Tim Black Show after every debate. Well, I was getting ready for that as my usual shtick. That's what we do. And then this happened. I get this tweet. It's from Chris Richards, one of the squad, eclectic radical. And I really wish I didn't get this tweet because, man, I had a lot of work to do today. So it says, hey, so Real Tim Black and Benjamin Dixon, have you heard about this in your mainstream media yet? It's happening in real time right now and it's being ignored. It wasn't on my morning news. That was followed by this tweet. I thought it important to put this on blast while mainstream media was busy with Warren smearing Bernie for smearing Warren. Thank you. Yeah. It meant I had to do some digging, right? So then I go to the website. Well, first I go to Twitter to find out who is this he's tweeting about. I go to @MomsForHousing and it says, the armored sheriff's deputies and military fatigues with a tank arrested hashtag Moms for Housing leaders Misty and Talani. We don't know where they are. Right now we're working on locating them. So this thing is going from bad to worse real quick, right? And then I look up the website. Momsforhousing.org is the name of the website. And quickly, I become an evangelist for this website and for the cause of the Moms for Housing. Just to reading the byline, there are 4 times as many empty homes in Oakland as there are people without homes. And some of those people are children. So let me give you a little bit of background on what's going on and what this is all about. So this happened in Oakland, California, guys. Oakland, California resides in the county of Alameda. It's in the Bay Area. Oakland's the third largest city in the Bay Area. And a crazy thing has happened over the last couple of years. The homeless population has increased 47%. Let me repeat that. The housing population has increased 47%. Now, I don't know who you are or where you are at in your life, but once you get a certain age, you realize that all of the bad things that happen to other people can surely happen to you or to someone in your family. None of us are removed from this. We're no longer children, and we know, there for the grace of God go I. That's not just something you say to be cute. That's something that's real. And in our system, where people with an illness, most of us are one diagnosis away from being homeless ourselves. We're just too stupid not to know it. So, let's try this. Then I did the other thing I shouldn't have done. That's a lot of things I shouldn't have done, Johnson. But then I watched this video, and it was on.
Okay, so what's the what? What's going on? What's happening? My mom and lots of other moms, all who have young kids, all who are experiencing some kind of homelessness, took over this abandoned home, a vacant property, a house no one was living in for close to 2 years. We fixed it up, now we live in it. We made it a home. And here it is. And here it is. Now I have a clean and quiet place where I can do my homework. So in the morning, when the sun comes up, I like to sit on the back steps and read. And it has this little front yard with the trees. And I know she's already fallen in love with having a place to call home. Right now, we're just waiting. They're either gonna let us buy the house or evict us. The judge and the court, they're gonna decide. Sometimes it's all you can think about.
Some might call these Oakland mothers radical.
Homeless moms are drawing attention to real estate speculators in the midst of California's housing crisis. They're occupying a vacant house in West Oakland. That housing should be considered a human right.
Housing as a human right.
Housing is a human right.
Deputies will be enforcing that eviction notice. But we're not leaving. We're not going anywhere.
They tried, but it held on. They gave up. So maybe it does have deep roots. It's definitely strong.
All right, guys. So it's stories like this that really grab us, and it grabbed me. It made me really focus today on what was going on with these folks out in Oakland. And then I realized that it's not just Oakland. Of course, we know it's so many other communities across the country experiencing the same thing. And then you got to wonder, you got to ask yourself, well, in the richest country in the history of countries, why can't our country do a better job by its people? Now, we know the answer to that, and that's part of the reason why we engage in politics. It's the reason why we are so tuned in. Some of us call ourselves progressives. Some of us call ourselves liberals. Some of us call ourselves socialists. But the truth of the matter is, as I was looking at this, all I could think about is I'm not doing enough. I got to admit, I did get a little teed off thinking of all the other platforms that have vast amount of resources and how they're not getting involved either. Then I thought about the people that nitpick about what kind of stories you cover, Tim Black. They never push me about stories like this, though. No, they push me to cover stories that everybody else is covering. And I think, what about the real people's stories? This is a real people's story. And if I don't cover this story, then what's that say about me? And just because it's not a story, you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a story, but it's not a story. I mean, this thing is nowhere. It's on local media, okay? So, as I look further at it, guys, all I could see was moms and babies. Communities of people. Waiting list. Years long. And, you know, I'm not going to say, I don't want you to think I'm any type of expert on this subject. I mean, I'm just getting involved in this, right? And I got a number of clips I want to share with you to kind of bring you up to speed. At least we'll both be kind of learning about it together. But we should learn about it because it's what's going on. It's probably going on right now in your own backyard. Maybe you know about it, maybe you don't. But these folks sure do. So let's start here at the beginning.
That's what you saw in the news cycle. They were trying to make Wedgwood be the individual, the corporation that was oppressed, because they're so used to privilege and running through communities in the way that they want to, that when women, black women, stood up and said, not in this community, they were like, oh, what is this? What's happening? They didn't understand it because they're used to privilege, they're used to wealth, giving them the opportunity to do whatever they want to do. And their wealth is what allowed them to have the relationship with these shock troops, the paramilitary forces that came today, to have them protect their property. We have no respect for their systems.
That's right.
We have no respect for their systems.
That's right.
So they cannot tell us about, you stole a house. You stole us. Hey. We wouldn't be here if we were not stolen. Right? So we don't abide by your laws. We don't abide by your systems. And until we can break those chains to understand that they don't even abide by their systems.
Right.
They just expect us to.
That's right.
They expect us to follow the rules. Damn their rules.
Damn their rules.
They don't play by them. They write them for us. They create them for us. They police our bodies with paramilitary forces. Not in Dublin.
That's right.
Not in Walnut Creek.
That's right.
Not in their spaces. So we say, fuck their system.
Fuck their system.
I love us.
I love us too.
I just wanted to let y'all know, don't leave here today with your heads down.
That's right.
Like this was not a victory. The
right.
intention was not to get this house. The intention was to spark a movement.
That's right.
And the only way you should leave is if you don't commit to that movement.
Yep.
That is the only way that anyone should be upset. Because what I expect everybody to do that's here today and that can hear my voice is you go organize 10 more people.
Yes.
And be like, you know what? We're about to start taking back the land.
Yeah.
Because that's what my life is about. It's igniting every single last one of y'all to go make another one of y'all. Come on, man. I need you all to amplify my voice. I know I'm a channel for bringing in and fighting for our freedom. I know what I am. I know what my role is to community. So because I know that, I also know I'm a target. So while I'm saying, if something ever happens to any of us, all of us are up here are targets, then I need it to be 100 more of y'all.
That's
right? We need to duplicate ourselves.
That's right.
So the woman you just met there, her name is Carol Fife, and she, pictured here, was on Democracy Now! Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment is the name of the organization, and she's a powerful speaker, and she's a hell of an advocate for the people of Alameda, Oakland, Alameda County there in Oakland. and she's fighting for the people. And wow, what a force she is, okay? And then the lady next to her. Lady next to her is Dominique Walker. She's one of the moms for housing. Dominique Walker is a mom. She's facing imminent eviction. And that's what the story is about. The imminent eviction of Dominique Walker and several other mothers and children who were living in a house that was abandoned for 2 years. 2 years. What's the problem? What's the problem? Then I start seeing stuff like this, guys. These are the stormtroopers that showed up to kick out the women and children. 5 o'clock in the morning, they show up, bust through the door, take the house, while Dominique and Curl are away recording that Democracy Now! Episode that you just saw. This is what was going on while they were away, okay? AK-47s, riot gear, armored vehicles for women and kids in a house owned by banks, a $1 billion property management company that brought up all the land, that brought up all of the property after the housing crisis of 2007 and 8. They own 35% of the land, folks. The banks own it. This is a total police state where they put their boots on our necks. Did you know the Alameda County Sheriff's Office has a tank of soldiers with AR-15s? They're out here evicting and arresting the moms for housing at 5 a.m. There was nothing happening at 2928 Magnolia Street that justifies this level of force. Sure it does. They're paid to put their boots on our neck. They're armed to defend property, not us. We should always be reminded that's really what the police were there for. That's what they were created to do. Now, at the time, the property was slaves, but it was still property. To return property to its owners. That was the original creation of police. That's why police exist today. Same deal.
Justice! No peace! Justice!
Day, this morning, the sheriffs came in. They came in like an army for mothers and babies. They did this strategically while we were on Democracy Now! I'm angry that my sisters are in handcuffs. Our supporters are in handcuffs right now. All because we have the right to housing. I'm sorry, I'm really Day, this morning, the sheriffs came in.
mom consider this? Well, how do they feel about this offer?
We want people to understand that Catholic Charities is not housing. What this offer, and we say offer, was 2 months in a shelter and to pay for moving expenses. And I think people can see just by the number of individuals who've come to court dates, who showed up to defend the house, and to really stand with the mothers. Moving is not an issue. Access to people to pack, to donate trucks, and everything needed to move is not an issue. The system does not work. So anyone who's tried to get housing in the city of Oakland knows that 2 months is nothing. One of the mothers has been homeless for 6 years. So add 2 months to 6 years, and that is not enough time to find affordable housing in the city of Oakland, where the average one-bedroom apartment is $2,500 a month. The housing wage in Oakland is $40.88 per hour. That means there is no housing available to working people in this city. So to offer them this gesture is the work of a public relations firm. It is not intended to truly house the families. If they were truly interested in housing the families, they would sell this home for what they purchased it for. They have hired a multi-million-dollar firm to spin it and get people, including the media, to think other than what is actually happening. It is very simple. They can get all of their money back if they sell the home to the land trust. And if it's in a trust, it remains permanently affordable in perpetuity forever. And that is the model that the mothers are pushing. Sell homes to the land trust so it will be accessible for working people forever. And that is not in the interest of a multi-million-dollar corporation that's in the business of making profit off what should not be a commodity. So that's what we're here for today.
All right. So one of the things that we talk about as a Bernie Sanders supporter, which is what I am, is we talk about rights as opposed to access. See, if you got a right for something, that means you get it. If you have access to it, that means it's possible you could get it. Like it's obtainable. But there's no guarantee that you'll actually be able to lay hands on the thing or consume the thing or inhabit the thing that you need, whether it be healthcare, whether it be protection, whether it be housing. So this is I think the mind shift that we have to move to if we want to develop a society, if we want an environment in a society that's built on rights for individuals, working people, average citizens. Well, we need to have requirements of rights, not just accessibility, not market-driven neoliberal policies where we let the market figure it out and let the businesses and the corporations do as they want to do. See, part of what happened with the housing crisis is those same banks that foreclosed on those homes after those speculations went back and bought those foreclosed homes, and they sat on those homes, and then they raised the prices of those homes. They did not make a way for people to be able to re-inhabit those homes or purchase those homes. So, I'm not sure what the solution for this is. Depending on what websites you frequent, you'll get different responses. The liberals are pointing at the conservatives are pointing at the liberals, and at the end of the day, we still got people living in tents. And there's a lot of people living in tents in Oakland, California right now. And there's a lot of reasons for homelessness. It's not one size fits all. Some people are homeless because they had an illness, they went bankrupt. Well, we got a solution for that. It's called Medicare for All, right? Then there are some people who are homeless because they have a mental illness. Oh, we got a solution for that. It's called Medicare for All. See how Medicare for All helps solve some of these problems? But there are all types of reasons, from drug addiction. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a solution for that, too. That's called Medicare for All. But while we're trying to get all that done, there's still little girls, little boys, and moms living outdoors, whole families living outdoors. So I don't know the solution, but I know one thing we need to do is we need to be aware, and we need to start finding out what the solution could be. So as it pertains to this, as it pertains to Moms for Housing, go to momsforhousing.org, momsforhousing.org, and find out how you can get involved. They have a page, they have a website that has lots of information that will tell you more about what they plan to do. And I would like to also open my door and say, I'd be happy to bring on, to host and provide my platform in order to get the word out for any issue or any news they would like to be generated surrounding their cause. I was reluctant to do this video because I didn't feel like I could do it justice. But if all I can do is pass on the information that's given, the information is out there, maybe in some small way I did something besides watch the horse race and, regurgitate corporate media talking points and corporate media back and forths. And don't get me wrong, that stuff's interesting and it's what I do. But this should be something that I do as well on a more constant basis. So once again, Moms for Housing, you're welcome on my show. You're the subject matter experts. I'm not. But my door is open when you want to come on. And you can have a conversation. And I'm sure my audience, and look, hey, I'm not sure, hold on a second. I'm not sure my audience wants to hear it. But that's okay, because the beauty of the Tim Black Show is sometimes we talk about stuff people don't want to hear about. Sometimes we talk about things that make people uncomfortable. Sometimes we talk about things that are frustrating, that makes you pull out the hair that you don't have. But that's okay, because sometimes you need to be frustrated, and sometimes you need to be pissed off, because it's effed up out here. And if you're not pissed off, then you're not paying attention. Ain't that what they say? So let's pay attention, y'all. I love you. Hit me up at tim@timblacktv.com with emails. Reach me at Real Tim Black on any platform. On Instagram, I'm Tim Black at Night. Thank you, Chris, for sending this to me. And also, forget you, Chris, for sending this to me. But no, I'm joking. Thank you. And I'll see you guys soon. We got a debate to cover. But remember, this is why we're supposed to care about those debates, because of these issues. These are the issues, and these are the reasons why we're supposed to care, because of real life crap situations that are going on that need to be fixed. If not, we're just spectators watching a football game without the pads in the concession stands. Right? Right, Johnson.
They tried, but it held on. They gave up. So maybe it does have deep roots. It's definitely strong.
I'll see you guys right after the debates for the regular show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Tell a friend. See you in a couple hours. Wolfpack.